guys, Gavin here from UltimateReloader.com. I am really excited for deer hunting season, and that's one of the key reasons I wanted to dive into the 25-45 Sharps rifle platform. What I'm going to do in this video is invite you into my process of getting one of my two 25-45 Sharps AR-15s ready for hunting season. So, to review, I got the 16-inch Rangemaster, which is kind of the entry-level 25-45 Sharps rifle, but I also have a 20-inch Fieldmaster. So in this video, I'm going to focus on the Rangemaster. I've got this really awesome bag from Condor here, the double rifle case. I can fit both rifles in this. I can hike. It's got backpack straps on the back. I'm going to have a whole dedicated video on this case system. I can shoot up in the field. I can do all my chronograph data. I can get everything sighted in with plenty of room for all the accessories that I'm going to take with me. So I'm really excited about that. One of the main focuses of this video is going to be the optics. So I thought with two different rifles, it'd be great to compare ballistics on a 16-inch barrel versus a 20-inch barrel, because the loads that Sharps provides data for are with 24-inch test barrel. So using their data, using a 20-inch rifle and using a 16-inch rifle, we're going to be set. But also, what a great setup for hunting. This Strike Eagle is 1:6 power, and on the 16-inch rifle, I think that's going to be a great close quarters optics and rifle package. On the 20-inch Fieldmaster, I'm going to go with something more like a 4:16. Still waiting for the scope on that, so I'm actually going to take the sights from the Rangemaster and put them on the Fieldmaster. So I've got the Vortex Strike Eagle 1:6 by 24. I'm thinking to throw on a Hogue rubber molded grip. This is the mono grip for AR M16. One of the great things about the AR-15 rifle platform, you can customize to your heart's content. I like the way these grips fit my fingers. Now, if you recall, the Rangemaster has the mil-spec trigger, and I had an extra ALG ACT trigger sitting around, and I thought that would be a great way to round out this rifle package. I've got the CMC 3.5 pound trigger on the Fieldmaster, so it'll be cool to do a side-by-side comparison with the ALG ACT. If you guys are looking for a low-cost trigger that works really well for both run and gun and field work, shooting off a bipod, whatever, the ALG ACT is very highly rated in for a reason. It's a great low-cost trigger. So I'm going to get my rifle kind of equipped and fitted to my specifications here, and I'm going to show you some highlights from the process. Let's do this. So I want to give you guys a sneak peek of this Condor double rifle bag. Really excited about these capabilities. You've got the loops here that you can strap items to. You've got all sorts of storage. Look at this. And you've also got plenty of room for two rifles inside. There's a padded divider between the two, and then you've got the backpack straps on the back. So yes, look for the dedicated video on this rifle. Fits both the 16 and the 20 just great. This is the 36-inch length here. So if you're packing AR-15s, I think the 36-inch case is really a great choice. Up to 20-inch barrel. It's a little bit tight, but it fits just fine. Okay, so I'm gonna get ready to mount the scope. So I've got, like I said, the Strike Eagle 1:6 by 24. I also have the Vortex CM202 cantilever mount. This is going to be a killer setup. Okay, let's do a quick unboxing here. I haven't even looked at this yet, so you're seeing this right along with me. We've got the instruction manual, as you would expect. Some nice packaging. We've got our battery. The lens cloth, which is always nice to have. I like to have a lens cloth with me in each bag, and believe me, with that Condor bag, I'm gonna have plenty of room. Ooh, look at that. Nice. I like the flip-up caps. 1:6, nice and smooth. Okay. 6 by 24. Okay. Caps for our adjustments. It'll be kind of fun to get this baby sighted in. Extra battery there, it looks like. Interesting. Okay. And so that's the Strike Eagle. That's going to be pretty awesome. And the CM202 cantilever mount. Okay. Of course. Again, I haven't even played with this stuff. You're seeing this for the very first time along with me. Comes with the wrench. Comes with the instructions, which I found are actually worth reading, believe it or not. Could save you a lot of time and a lot of hassle in the end. Okay. Looky, looky. That looks pretty nice. I'm definitely liking that. Okay. So I'm going to get the scope installed. I've got lots of scope mounting videos. I'll point to that in the video description. So I'm going to get to that and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I did a not totally scientific hold-up test with the rifle shouldered and determined that optimal eye relief for myself is going to be where this scope, the rear of the eyepiece, is slightly rear of the charging handle. And so what I've got here is a position on this cantilever mount where I'm centered with the back of the eyepiece slightly rear of the top of the charging handle there. So that gives me a rough idea. I do like it when things are centered. And again, when you're mounting a scope, remember the rifle under recoil is going backwards, so you want to push forward on your rings or your mount so that it's already bottomed out against the appropriate surfaces of the Picatinny rail so that it's not going to move. It's not going to, even with clamping force, be tempted to slide back and forth. It's going to be already bottomed out in the overall, position, that we need it to be. So that's my philosophy. I'm going to go ahead and level out the scope, get the ring tops off, and then torque everything down with a fat wrench. The Hogue grip installed mostly without a hitch. Of course, I had to drop a few parts on the floor, but great to have something ergonomic that I'm familiar with on the Rangemaster. The ALG Act trigger dropped in like a dream. One thing I definitely recommend, there's a Geisley trigger pin tool that makes fitting the trigger a lot easier. You can push the pins out, get all the trigger components lined up, push the new pins in. It makes life a lot easier. To sight in this time, I decided not to do a bore sighting. I went to 50 yards and did a straight up shoot and adjust approach. I was on target in about 5 minutes. All right, we are dead on. Scope looks really clear too. I'm really excited about this optic. I think it's going to work really well. All right, well, I'm really happy with how all of my primary upgrades have gone with the Sharps Rangemaster rifle. I got my Hogue rubber grip. I've got my ALG Act trigger, which in the $70 to $90 price range is just a really clean, really crisp trigger. So for what this rifle is intended for, close quarters hunting and shooting, I think it's just about perfect. I like a good value in a trigger, and this is certainly that. But the centerpiece of my upgrades really is this Vortex Strike Eagle 1:6x24 scope, which I am really, really pleased with. I've got the Vortex cantilever mount here, and it really has positioned it nicely for the eye relief that I dialed in for the rifle. Speaking of the eye relief, very forgiving. I've got a really nice, sharp, edge-to-edge picture through the scope that is incredibly clear. And I want to try and give you an idea of what that looks like. So I sighted in the rifle at 50 yards. So I'll show you 1x magnification and 6x magnification there. And then, of course, we're all familiar with what the 100-yard view is because we spend a lot of time sighting in our rifles and shooting at that distance. So I'll show you that 1x magnification and 6x magnification. But then I wanted to take it out fairly far, kind of beyond what I would really consider to be the usable range of this scope in this power, which is 350 yards, just to give you an idea of how things resolve at further distances. So 1x magnification and 6x magnification there as well. These through the scope views give you an idea. They're not going to really do it justice. You really have to see the scope for yourself to appreciate the clarity of the optics. So great sight picture through the scope. Another thing I really like are these flip up caps. So they're engineered into the scope. They're not an afterthought. They're not going to go flying, and it's nice to be able to just flip them up and go. We've got caps over our turrets, so we're not going to alter our zero banging around in the field, which is good. It's got an illuminated reticle, which I haven't used yet because I haven't had it out in the dusk. Don't worry, I've got plenty more content where I'll be following up with impressions on this as I go through and use it more. But definitely the magnification adjustment is a high point as well because it's very smooth. I get incredibly irritated if I have a really stiff magnification adjustment dial. This is very smooth, and it's also got kind of a protrusion like a lever that sticks up. So loving the rifle. I'm going to still throw on a Picatinny rail section for a bipod. I'm going to throw a QD attachment point on the front for my sling. So I've got a few more things to do, but deer hunting season is right upon us, and I'm doing my best to get ready. So next I'm going to focus on the Fieldmaster because I want to use that for deer hunting as well. So that's where we're at now. I've also got this Condor rifle case, which is really cool. I can fit both of the 25-45 Sharps rifles in here, the one at 16, the Rangemaster, and the one at 20, which is the Fieldmaster. I got another video on that coming up, so I'll go into all of the details there. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't want to miss any of the action on Ultimate Reloader, please subscribe to my channel. We got a lot more 25-45 Sharps content coming up. So until then, happy shooting and happy reloading.